I'm Kimberly Washburn, Curator of Education at the Florence County Museum. Welcome to April's Family Day at Home. Today we are going to be making a small little seed pot, a seed starting pot, and planting corn together. So let's get started. You're going to need to grab a few things from your Family Day at Home kit. You're going to need your 2 newsprint strips, your bag of potting soil, your small bag with corn seeds, and you're also going to need to find a container, a round container at home that you can use as the base of your pot. So I just have a bottle that's about 2 inches in diameter that I'm going to be using. Anything could work for this, a shampoo bottle, something from your kitchen, like just an oil or condiment type of bottle would work just fine. Just something that's going to give you the shape that you need. So let's get started. The first step is going to be to make our small little seed starting pot. These pots are great because once your plant starts to grow, you can just plant the whole pot right in the ground with your plant. So you don't even have to take the plant out of the pot. It can just go right in the ground. And over time, this paper will break down and just become a part of the soil. So what you're going to need to do is start with just one of your newsprint strips. And I'm going to put mine so that it's going vertically on the table. It's going up and down. I'm going to grab my bottle and I'm going to overlap it onto the paper, leaving about 2 or 3 fingers worth of paper down at the bottom. And I just measure that by putting this here, and then I see, okay, I've got about 2 fingers worth of paper under the bottom of the bottle. I'm going to start at the beginning of my paper, the part that's closest to me, and I'm just going to wrap that paper and roll it up onto the bottle, just like that. Then I'm going to take this part that's sticking up from the bottom, and I'm just going to fold it in all the way around. And then I'm going to press this down on the table surface, just kind of press it all the way around to crease it. If it's still popping up a little bit, that's not really a problem. Once you put the soil in your pot, it's going to hold it nice and steady. You can also put a little piece of masking tape there if you want, but I don't really think it's necessary. I just like to hold it kind of with my finger, and I'm going to pull the bottle out. And in order to keep our container from unrolling itself, I like to fold down this top, about the top inch, into the pot. And it's going to feel a little funny at first, but you can just go all the way around and fold it in to the inside of the pot. Give it a nice crease there, just like that, so that it's folded in. And now our pot is ready to plant. You can make bunches of these with newspapers, with old newspapers you have lying around, or just any really thin paper that's easy to fold and work with. So you can go ahead and make 2. I've given you 2 strips of paper so that you can make a couple of pots. We're just going to make one for the demonstration today. Once you have your pots ready, I had one I did previously. Once you have your 2 pots ready, again, they might kind of fall over until you get your soil in there, but once you get everything settled down in there, that won't happen. You're just going to fill it with soil. So fold that a little. All right, and I'm just going to pour it straight from the bag. You could use a little spoon to transfer it, or you could pour this into a bowl and kind of scoop it out with your paper pot if you want. But I'm just going to fill it up with soil. You might want to make sure to do this outdoors or cover up your table surface so that you don't have a big mess. Because as you can see, there is some spilling going on. All right, so I have plenty of potting soil in my bag, maybe even enough for a 3rd little cup if I wanted. And I'm going to take my pots and get ready to plant. Now I've given you 3 little corn seeds. You can plant 2 in one pot or maybe just 1 in each pot. It's up to you. You don't have to plant all 3 of them. You could plant 1 just directly into the ground and see how differently they grow. So I'm gonna take my little corn seeds. You'll notice that corn seeds are just little kernels of corn. They look just like little, almost like little popcorn kernels. All right. Now, in order to plant, I'm just gonna take my finger and make a little hole right in the center. I'm not pressing my finger all the way down. We don't wanna plant the corn that deeply in the soil. So I'm just pressing out to maybe about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch or so, just a little bit down into the soil. And I'm gonna drop my seed right in there. You can kind of see what that looks like. The soil covered it right up. All right, and then you can just cover it up with soil by just kind of squeezing that around, or you could also add a little bit more soil to the surface and give it a little bit of a pat down. I like to pat it down to make sure everything's nice and firm and in place. Just tiny bit more in this one. And now it's ready for a little bit of water. Put a little sprinkling of water over the top of these. It may be a good idea to put each of your little seed pots inside a smaller dish or inside, a larger dish, something that could catch the water or the dirt that overflows from these, because the water will run through the paper. And you don't want to handle them a lot individually because the paper does weaken over time. So carefully care for your pots. As your seeds begin to sprout, make sure to put them in a sunny location. Once your plants have their first true leaves, so your plants are first going to put out some little starter leaves, but then the next leaves that emerge are the first true leaves of your plant. And once you have your first true leaves, these are ready to go in the ground. Pick a sunny spot in your yard. Watch your corn grow to about 6 feet tall. Each corn plant should give you several ears of corn. We hope that you enjoy planting corn with us this spring.